Morning, me again. Let's say hello and happy to see that everybody is here tuning in. Glad to hear that people are still leaving comments and putting down their quotes, and I am going through and getting back to everybody as well. Jokes aside, so a massive thank you to you all. But this morning I was going to talk about my favourite quote, but I'm going to do that tomorrow, because as I had to get up early this morning and go and drop some keys off to my wife's workplace, because the manager had forgot his keys, so obviously her being assistant manager, I had to go and drop the keys off, instead of him going all the way back home. But that's going to be part of what I'm going to feed into this talk as well. So I was listening as I was driving in. I'm just going to get straight into it. As I was driving in to drop the keys off, I was listening to Radio 4, and for anyone else that doesn't listen to Radio 4, one thing why I like listening to it, it's got great stories, some sort of great interviews, sometimes definitely some great insights that I like to hear anyhow about certain topics and subjects that are going on within the political world as well, just to try and read in between the lines what's going on there. But what I was listening to and what I heard was about how if you're working in a job, and even though you might have the same qualifications as somebody else, exactly the same on paper, exactly the same as somebody else, there's no difference to what you've got to what they've got, exactly the same. And that it was about skin color. So basically, I'm going to say black thing, white thing, Asian thing, whatever. It was just, for me, it was just about skin colors. People have done some research, and in their report, what they found was, even though two races of people or three races of people or whatever different races of people there are, and different diversities of people, you were getting less money than your counterpart just on the colour of your skin. And even though you're doing the same job, I thought, hold on a minute. I thought, well, did I really hear that right? Do I need to ring my ears out? And these are people that have graduated and apparently are supposed to be in real good jobs. One of them things, a job. See? And this is the thing where it annoys me, where people are still being discriminated against. And even though you have the same attributes, the same qualifications, you've put in the same hours, you've studied hard, you've studied as hard as the next person, you've burnt the midnight oil, but still, when you actually get yourself in that door and you've got your position and you're feeling great about yourself, but then there's been a study to say that, because, you know, people don't like to talk about how much they earn and that they keep it quiet and everything else, but I think it's great that there are sort of networks that are out there that are delving into this, to seeing what sort of discrepancies there are for one person or one man or one woman that are working within the industry and they're getting paid good money, but then they find out that someone else is they're doing exactly the same job, but they're getting more money just on how they look. just on their skin colour. And I find that absolutely disgusting anyhow. But you know what? We know that this sort of thing goes on. But how are we going to be able to change anything unless we wake up and say, you know what? Okay, so this is what you're doing to me. So this is what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to work. I'll keep working. I'll keep my nose to the grindstone. I'll keep my head down. I'll work so that all the sweat off my brow is just dripping onto your papers, or whatever the work is. It might be in law, you could be a dentist, you could be an artist, whatever it is anyhow. But whatever industry you're in, and you find out that you're not being paid or getting as much as your colleague, and they are just a different skin color to you. So people who are obviously the owners are saying, well, I still don't think that you're worth as much as your colleague, even though you have got the same qualifications. But obviously you don't qualify because of your skin color. How can that be? I'll tell you how it can be. Because they don't care. If they can take £4 from you, £4.75 over the year, whatever that might be, that's probably going to turn out to be like £7,000 or whatever in the long run. About how much money they actually take out of your wages, depending on how much you're being paid per hour, they are taking a massive lump sum of money away from you. For over that year, whatever they're taking from you, and I find that absolutely disgusting. Or how many years it is. My maths isn't the greatest, but I know that somebody will probably leave a comment and say, well, that doesn't add up. But I'm just using that as an analogy, just to say that they are still taking money away from you. It could be a penny. Why is your penny not as valuable as somebody else's penny? Why should they have to take £1 from you? You should be on the same wage as somebody else if they've got the same qualifications. In footballing terms or sporting terms, it's different, because there are some players that play in different positions within that company, within that team, within that business, and they do get paid more money because they're the ones that are scoring all the goals. They're the top one, but it's still working part of the team. And I believe, anyhow, this is me personally, I believe if you're in a team, everybody should be on the same wage, because you're getting the same results. Because what about when you lose and that striker hasn't scored? So why should then he get more money as the goalkeeper, or less money than the goalkeeper, even though, say if it was 0-0, and when they win, and what about when the striker doesn't score, but somebody else from midfield scores, or someone from defence, or the goalkeeper comes up last minute and scores a header? So this is what I'm saying. It will never change, because